ex-convicts approved by the Presidential Advisory Committee on the Prerogative of Mercy. Okay, this matter has been on for a while, comments here and there, but the people spoke out and the government listened. The federal government says that the presidential clemency is still under review, although we had thought that the pardon had already been granted. But BK, what's your reaction to this?
Yes, the Council of State had approved the recommendation for clemency. But what we are being told now is that that is not enough, that they are going to look at that list again, that only those who are duly qualified will benefit from the president's mercy. I think this is the right thing, and I can't discountenance the role that embarrassed Nigerians played in ensuring that they decided to look at this matter again. On that list of 175 convicts, illegal minors, white-collar convicts, drug offenders, Ogoni 8 and all that, Maryam Sanda is thoroughly deserving of this presidential pardon because he didn't commit any offense. There was no coup. I had an exclusive interview with the then Chief of Defense Staff, Don Karbali.
Okay.
And he said the evidence that was used to convict them was not sufficient. I still remember that interview. We conducted that interview inside the bar of Ikoyi Golf Club. You know? And he never spoke to any other person after that. Yes. Never
so
granted
you got the
an interview. Yeah, it was exclusive. It shook the nation at the time. His wife and children, they began to protest for the most senior officer at that time to have come out to say the evidence used in convicting and then executing them was not sufficient. And he made the point that IBB and Maryam Sanda offended one another and found it difficult to forgive one another. You can imagine, at my wedding, you are my best man. What could have made two great friends to turn against one another in this manner? And a man got executed, along with others. That's why when we say even the military, their incursion into politics destroyed the institution. Some children who were in their diapers during the military era, some of them were shouting they want military. What do you know about military? What do you even know about Nigerian history? When they stopped you people from being taught history in schools. An uninspired decision that was taken then. People who don't have a sense of Nigerian history, you still stop them from studying history. So it made matters worse. That's why somebody who claims to have this sanity in place will say military should come and take over. You know what they did to themselves? They're killing one another for the flimsiest of reasons. So Maryam Sanda thoroughly deserving of that presidential pardon. And I thought it should have come before now. There are still many people. The so-called 1995 coup was a phantom coup. It never existed. Who are the people like Olugbede and other people who were convicted at that time? I expect that by now, the president will have pardoned those people because there was no coup. There was no coup. They just, people that they didn't like, they just gathered them. Okay, for example, you have someone like Chris Anyanwu, for example, a female journalist who used to cover the National Assembly. They claim she was close to former Lawan Gwadabi. And then you brought her and claimed that she planned a coup. This is madness now. So by now, President Tinubu and his minders should have called for the names of those people who are indicted, who are convicted over the 1995 coup. Just pardon everybody, because there was no coup. Only Obasanjo got pardon. Obasanjo came out, got pardon. They made him head of state. How about the other people? Obasanjo was in Yola prison. My boss, Kunle Ajibade, was convicted for a story that I wrote. Is that the same thing as planning a coup? So does it mean if they got hold of me at that time, they will arraign me with Obasanjo and others and call me a coup plotter? A journalist writing a story. So those ones, they deserved it. And you will see Nigerians were not complaining about those ones. Nigerians were complaining about those convicted for involvement in drug peddling and all that, and kidnappers and murderers. Those were the people that Nigerians were complaining. Look at Sanda, for example. When that woman killed the husband, it shook our nation. True. But I don't know how some people found a way to smuggle her into that list. It's embarrassing. How? I want to believe that there are some fifth columnists
yes, within the system.
Doing their best to embarrass this president. And when the embarrassment has happened, then we'll now hear that, okay, we are not doing that again. More like policy flip-flops and all that. Those fifth columnists should be identified. The president has to be careful. Muhammadu Buhari said fifth columnists in his administration as a military ruler then were the people who went to raid Awolowo's house. And they turned his library upside down. They scattered everywhere. All they wanted to do was for Nigerians, especially from the southwest, to begin to hate Muhammadu Buhari and then begin to call for coup. Call for change of government. That was what they want. He said he didn't know. So it's not possible for a president to know everything. But you must identify, once this sort of thing happens, who smuggles. Look at the kidnapper, Kevin Prosper, you know, a big-time kidnapper who had cells in Delta or your Edo Rivers, Abia, Benue. He had detention camps everywhere. And then you call for the release of such a person. Now, even NDLA people, EFCC, they are scared. Because some of these people, if they release them, they will go after the people who secured, who worked out to secure their conviction. They will kill those people. Usually, when people break jail, they are going straight to look for the person who testified against them. They will go and take the life of that person. So it's a good thing. It's embarrassing, it has happened. So, but I'm happy that at least you're having a second look at this, because this was really scary. And look at how it has divided even two families. Same because somebody said, oh, the children are suffering.
Yes.
So they should release the woman. That's why I like Americans. George W. Bush was governor of Texas. A woman murdered the boyfriend using high speaks. Then she became born again in prison. She had been sentenced to death. Oh. This was in the 90s. She became born again in prison. Pope John Paul II pleaded with George Walker Bush. Said, please, this woman is a chained person. Don't kill her. I was in Kano when George W. Bush addressed the people of Texas. He said a while ago, I signed the death warrant. May the Lord have mercy on her soul. The best that we could have done was for Maryam to say, okay, we are commuting to life imprisonment. Not to say, we've released you. Come on.
I mean, the thing is, how did they smuggle these names into this list. Another thing is, do you think the review should have been done before they passed it on to
I think, you see, like in every...
It's not too late to do it, as long as they've not released people.
It's good that
government
came out to say that they have not effected their release.
Yes.
But one thing that is clear that I have discovered so far is that in any government, no matter how sincere or clever or careful the president is, there are some people with varied interests whose interests collide with that of the government, whose interests will harm the government. This is a perfect example. Because let me tell you something, if these people are eventually released, let me go back to history. It's unfortunately we are mentioning it, but it is part of Nigeria history. When the late Ojimeko Ojukwu, after the Civil War, he ran to Ivory Coast. He was given asylum. He came back 10 years later. Do you know how many people died during that war? Over 1 million people's souls were perished. Nigeria lost a lot of money. Biafrans themselves, they were dislocated. Most of them cannot claim back their houses in South, Port Harcourt. And the man came back 10 years later. He became a senator. What price have those people paid? But unfortunately, people are so ignorant. So now, if we now somebody who is responsible for killing a family, killing a lot of people, destroying a lot of things, then there's a justification for you to now say you want to draw an example for it. So until people are made to pay for what they have done, just like when people are clamoring, a lot of ignorant people, mischievous people are clamoring for that somebody who is on trial, Nnamdi Kanu, should be released. I think those people need to be examined.
They are also saying that this police man, the one being tried for drugs.
Drugs. Yes, Abakia should be released.
Also saying
somebody that is still being on trial.
It's not their fault.
How can somebody that's still on trial? The trial is still on. The judge is here to pronounce a judgment. You don't even know whether they are going to be freed. The Supreme Court only announced that he has a case to answer. Let him. And I keep on telling people that his lawyers too are responsible for the fact that the case has dragged on, because they would say adjournment tomorrow, they file a counter adjournment tomorrow.
We don't want this judge, we don't want that judge.
Don't want that judge.
But the thing is, we need to know the person's
not only, what I'm saying is that that's the more reason why the president and those people, his minders, those people are surrounding the president, because you see, a house cannot leak except the roof is leaking. And those people living in that house are part of the reasons why the roof is leaking. So the president has to be more circumspect and thorough next time, so that we don't set a bad precedent against all these people. Yes, they will now be justified to say that people will say that you should release Kanu. It's unfortunate that notable politicians, sincere Nigerian leaders, are saying that kind of rubbish when somebody, because of his activities, thousands of people have died. A lot of people, 70% of Southeasterners who are in other parts of the country today, they did so because they cannot stay at home because of the activities of one man. And we are being sentimental to say that activism or politicians being sentimental.
No, the thing is the unconditional release that I don't even want to hear. I have demanded that matter, we can look for a political solution. But somebody will come and say, oh, they've given him bail, why have they not released him, this and that, this and that. They want unconditional release. If Kanu must be released, it has to come with conditions. He will agree that he will not take up arms against his country anymore.
Publicly renounce violence.
He will renounce violence. Because if violence pays, why is Simon Ekpa in jail?
Convicted in Finland.
That's in another country. And it's not as if he has killed their people. His activities were prominent here. The people that he was sending to kill people, attack people, is here in Nigeria. But they still sentenced him to tell him that, look, terrorism will not be permitted. Whether you are far away from your country or not, whether you are, what's it called, you are a citizen or not. People were saying that because Simon Ekpa is a citizen, it will not happen. Some of them were abusing me on my program, Issues with Jide. I wonder what they will say now. Because we are a people who do not like the truth. People take position based on simply on their interests. If they like you, you can kill people, cut people's heads, they will not see it. They will pretend that they don't. I was talking about some of the so-called women activists in our country. and somebody raped an underage girl. They are not talking about it. They are not talking. But little things, other things, they will start shouting. We cannot raise some of them, including the educated ones, open mouth so wide and complaining. You know, you see the truth, you run away from the truth. Was it not in this country that some people in the media were saying, I stand by Emefiele? When he was inflicting pain on our people. If you stand by, you must be such an unconscionable person to stand by a tormentor of the Nigerian people. Who has now been exposed as one of the biggest thieves in the history of our country. You stand by him. You have no honor now.
True.
You have no honor.
True.
That's what it means.
For us to know that the president has to do something, look at what the Saudi authorities did this year. They denied Abubakar Gumi the opportunity to perform Hajj because they know that his own brand of Islam. Look, I always tell people that if the kind of Islam that they are practicing in Saudi Arabia, Emirates, and some other things is called Islam, what some people are doing in Nigeria should not be called Islam. It is another thing entirely. They denied him entry because they knew that it's capable
they were not happy with his activities.
What they are doing. So the president should go the whole hog and do a thorough investigation and make sure that those people made those recommendations.
Absolutely. Yes, you identify those people.
Exactly.
The list, how did they get?
Absolutely.
Some people were smuggled into that list. We must find out those. Because they will do it again.
Exactly.
They will do it again.
If they don't identify them, they will still do it again.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you so much for doing this with us. BQ, as always, thank you so much.
Let me drink my tea.
Yes, thank God it's Friday. BQ, thank you so much for doing this with us, okay? And that's it on Journalist Hangouts this week. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangouts on Sunday. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Binga. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.